So thanks everyone for coming along for our online information session for Extension Studies students. Just to be clear, this session will be for people who are participating in an Extension Studies program with us this year, or if you are the parent, caregiver or teacher who is supporting a student participating in Extension Studies this year. Basically, what we're going to be covering in this session is a bit of a kind of online orientation and just giving you some sort of tips and tricks along the way to hopefully make this transition for you really, really easy. My name is Nicole. I'm a prospective student advisor here at the university, and I'm one of the people who looks after our Extension Studies program. If you have emailed or called us about it before, chances are it was either myself or my colleague Dave who's responded to you, and I'll have some more contact details for both of us up at the end as well. So what we're going to go through sort of basically how you'll go through your whole first semester in your first subject with us at the university and everything that goes along with that along the way. You do have the opportunity, and I really encourage you to ask any questions that you have as we're going through this information session in that chat box that you should see on your screen as well. And I will either answer it as we're talking through the presentation or I'll make sure to reply to you at the end of the session as well. So, getting into it, at the moment, everyone should have access to a free email account through the university. Now, the university systems all run through a sort of single sign-on login called Okta. It's available just okta.flinders.edu.au, and it will take you through to that little screenshot you see on the website there. You will need to enter your FAN details and put in your Flinders University password that you have created as part of your enrolment registration with us. If you are yet to enrol, please let me know in the chat box and I'll give you some further instructions at the end of this as well. But when you log into Okta, you'll see a big screen with all these different little tabs or tiles kinds of things, little icons. One of those ones is an Outlook icon. Everyone has access to their Flinders email account from now using that Outlook icon, and I really encourage you to go through and have a look at that Outlook account now. This is how the university is officially required to respond and communicate with you, is via that Outlook account. So if the person who is teaching your subject has sent in the information, they will have sent it to your Flinders University email account. I know you've probably all registered your school email addresses with our Extension Studies program, but the university is required to email directly to your university email account. So do go through and have a check on that one. You can also set it up so that your Flinders Uni email account will forward all emails that you receive to your school account. Really easy ways of doing that, and you can also ask IT support either here or at the school the process on how to do that if you're unsure too. You do want to be checking your Outlook account with the university at least sort of 3 to 4 times a week so you can stay on top of any new information that's sent out to you. So that's something I suggest you all go and do straight away. The next step that you'll be able to do is, hopefully, given that we're now the 26th of February, you should all have access to your topics on another tab on that Outlook account called Flow. Flow is Flinders Learning Online, and this is basically the place you go to if you need information for your topics. Within Flow at the moment, you'll notice some kind of base level information. So one of those areas will be announcements and discussion boards. Announcements is where the teacher or the topic coordinator for that topic will put any important information that you need to know. And then there's also discussion boards that you can post in as a student to ask questions or communicate with other students about that topic or about that area of study as well. On Flow at the moment, you should also be able to see, if not it will be out very soon, your Statement of Assessment Methods. You'll hear this referred to a lot as the SAM. The SAM tells you basically what's due, when it's going to be due, and what it actually involves. And one of the things I suggest you do is go through and have a look at that SAM immediately and go and map out any assignments that you have due in your school diary or whatever other kind of calendar that you use so that you can plan out that whole semester right away. Within the SAM, it will also give you a whole range of different information if you've got questions about how you'll be graded, and what to do if you need extensions, all of those sorts of things. There'll be a lot of information of that in the SAM. The first week of classes will start next week. So in your first class, so week 1, you might have a lecture. The key piece of information I want you to take away at the moment is you're not required to have prepared anything before you go to that first class. So if you're looking at a whole bunch of information on that flow page and maybe it's not making a lot of sense, or you're a little bit confused or feeling a bit overwhelmed, that's okay. Just hold off doing anything. Go along to the first class. It will generally be a lecture as your first topic. And you'll be able to go, and they're going to go through all of that information in a lot more detail with you, so you actually understand exactly what's involved in the topic. That's really what the first classes are all about. They're introductory classes to get you familiar with how the topic is going to be set up, so you're not required to have done anything in preparation for that class before you attend. With your first classes, Flow will have a lot of information about what's involved with each of those classes. Now, depending on the exact topics that you're doing, you can have a range of different classes. Commonly, pretty much all courses will have a lecture. A lecture is a big, like everyone's in the same room, there's a person sort of pacing up and down the front talking, they might have some PowerPoint presentations happening. Lectures, as a bit of a general rule, tend to be recorded. So if they're not recorded, they have to have a really good reason for not recording them. But the lectures are recorded, and those recordings are made available to you via Flow. So if you are unable to attend a lecture, you can watch it online. You can either watch it live at the time it's happening, or an hour after that class is finished, the recording will be available for you on Flow as well. As a bit of a guide, even if you're not planning on being able to attend lectures generally, I really recommend that you come along to the first lecture in week 1, just so you can have all that kind of introductory information. You can put your hand up and ask questions and get answers straight away. It's just sort of a bit nicer intro for you into that topic if you do attend that first class. Other types of classes, and this will depend on what area you're studying in, might be something like a tutorial, workshop, lab, practical, or seminar. And all of those mean slightly different things. Tutorials and workshops are pretty much the same thing. So they are basically groups of less than 25 students all sitting in a room together. You'll go through, depending on the topic you're doing, you might have different kind of problem questions you have to answer. You might have little activities you have to do as a group. You might have to do role playing or presentations, whatever it might be for that particular class. There also might be laboratories, so if you're doing one of the science-based topics or a health-based topic, chances are you're going to have a lab. You might be in a partner or in a small group within that lab space as well, and again, you're doing more practical-based things. You might also have a practical or seminar too. These classes are ones that you really want to make sure you attend. They're not recorded because they actually involve you participating in them. So if you do have to miss a class, you can contact the person who teaches that topic and arrange to attend a different class in the same week to catch up that way. A lot of the time you'll actually get participation marks, so you will receive grades for going along to those sorts of classes. So it's a really easy way to pick up a lot of your results for that first topic, and it's really worthwhile making sure you go. If you do miss it, you want to try and catch up with it as well, because they're not recorded, there'll be a lot of information that you'll miss out on if you don't go to that class. If you're sick or whatever, again, just contact your teacher for that course, your tutor, for that particular topic that you're doing in that tutorial workshop, to come up with a make-up time or an alternative option as well, so you can make sure you get all the full information you need from it. On your Flow page as well, it will have information as to what you have to prepare for these sorts of classes. Now, in your timetable details, you can actually filter your timetable back on the student system, so you can look at each week by week, and Flow will also have some information in this. Generally, tutorials and workshops, labs and pracs, those sorts of things don't start in week 1. So next week, so week starting the 2nd of March, the lectures will generally run, and it's the following week, so 9th of March, that the other classes will start running. Flow will let you know if there's any kind of preparation that you need to do for that topic. It will also be in different documents in that Flow page. There might be some readings that you're required to do, some questions that you might have to prepare, or just be prepared to come and bring a fun fact about yourself for the first class. So just consult Flow as to what's actually required for all of that. So speaking of readings, Flow will let you know if there's any kind of readings that you're required to do. And readings are exactly what they sound like. They're asking you to read a particular piece of information. And when you're reading that information, you want to be taking it in. You might be highlighting over some of it. You might be making some notes. What we're trying to do is make sure that you understand what that reading is telling you. There's a lot of knowledge that comes from the readings. The readings might be from various kinds of sources. So sometimes they might be online journal articles. Online journal articles the university will have access to through our library, and they're going to show you how to use all of this within that first week as well. So those sorts of things you just might have a read of it online and make some notes in a book separately. You might choose to print it and highlight over it. Whatever's going to work for you, you'll find a way. Your readings might also come from textbooks. There are different ways to do the readings from textbooks. You can borrow all of the core textbooks from the university library, so you have full access to the library as an extension studies student. So you can go through and borrow those textbooks. They make them all available for you as a student. You might also choose to purchase your textbooks. So sometimes people, I like to kind of highlight within my textbook when I was studying. Obviously, you can't do that with library books. So if you would like to choose to purchase your textbooks, you can do so as well. There's different organisations that you can purchase those from. So the bookstore on campus is called the Co-op. They are one source, but there are also a number of different online options as well. There is nothing preventing you from buying exactly the same textbook from Book Depository, for example, and they'll post it out to you. You're not required to come and purchase it from the Co-op, but that is one option that's available. You also don't have to have a brand new textbook. So we'll find that a lot of students will have done the topic this time last year. They finished that topic, now they don't need that textbook anymore. And so they're looking to sell it on. You can buy them from secondhand book sales that happen on campus. That's really common. There's also a Facebook group that you can join. It's the Flinders Textbook Book Swap, I think. That's another option. And then there's also an online option called Student VIP, where students from around Australia put their used textbooks up for sale. So there's different ways to go on purchase textbooks if you would like to purchase it, but it's not a requirement. You can borrow it from the library. I do really recommend that you wait until you attend your first lecture before you go and buy the textbook. The Co-op generally has a list, and if you've got access to your Flow pages already, you'll be able to see on Flow what the textbooks are. But just hold off, because sometimes topics will publish, they'll say, oh, you need these 2 textbooks. And when you go to the first lecture, they actually say you only need one of those 2 textbooks because they cover the same information. So just wait until you go to your first lecture to purchase those textbooks. And get that information directly from the lecturer. I've already said you're not required to prepare anything for that first week, so you're not going to be behind if you do wait to go to that class to purchase your textbooks. Really normal. And then you can make a bit of an informed decision from there. Also on Flow, you might have assignments. So universities do different kind of assessments. And again, if you look in that SAM on the Flow page, it will tell you what the assessments are and when they're going to be due. There might be some small online tests that happen through Flow. There might be big essays or kind of reports, that sort of thing. Flow will let you know in that SAM when they're due. If you are needing to submit assignments, so essays and that sort of thing, they'll be submitted via Flow normally. So we normally have an online submission, so you submit that assignment through Flow. And the marks are also generally returned via Flow. So everything is done online for you, which means you don't actually have to physically come into the university to hand in any assignments or receive your grades back as well. If you need an extension for your assignment, if you've become unwell or have other extenuating circumstances, you can consult the SAM. There's a process on Flow as to how you can apply for an extension. With university, you need to apply for an extension before the assignment is due. So you can't apply for an extension after the assignment due date has already passed. You need to make sure you do it before the assignment becomes due. So just sort of be aware of yourself. If you're sick, it's normally something as simple as just needing a doctor's note stating how long you'll be sick for, and then you generally get an extension that reflects that time. Some of the other assessments might also involve exams. So not all of the topics that you're all doing will have exams, but a lot of university topics will have exams. They run 2 times a year, so obviously the topic that you're doing in semester 1 will have exams that start from the 20th of June. And exams at university go from Monday to Saturday, and they have 3 different times a day. So there's 8:45, 1:15 and 5:45. If you do have a clash, and you're probably more likely to have clashes when we hit the semester 2 timetable for exams, but if you do have a clash between a Flinders exam and one of your SACE exams, get in touch with us and we will rearrange that Flinders exam for you. So you can get in touch with the Extension Studies team, so myself and Dave, and we will rearrange that exam so you can do the Flinders exam at another date. With the exams, they will go through a lot of the preparation as to what's required for exams in the final week or 2 of semester as well. And we also have a week, like we have a swap back week as well, between the university teaching time finishing and those exams starting. So just be aware. You'll get told sort of like a month in advance or 6 weeks in advance what the preliminary timetable will be for exams. So that's a good opportunity to let us know if your exams are going to be clashing. And then the final exam time and dates will be confirmed. I believe it's a month before the actual exams run as well. So you will have lots of notice. And again, your SAM will let you know if there is an exam. If the SAM says nothing about an exam, you don't have an exam for that topic. So once you've gone through all of the readings and classes and handing in assignments and doing exams and all that sort of thing, you have your results time. The university results convert across really, really well for Year 12 grades. Now, you need to complete 2 university topics. You do 1 in each semester for that to count as a 20 credit SACE subject. And then these amounts listed on the screen here is when both of those subjects are added together, and it's a score out of 20 for you. But basically, if you're getting high distinctions, and a high distinction is 85% or over at university, that result will go across to a 20 out of 20. If you just get a pass for your university subjects, so you're scoring over 50% but below 65%, that's up to 64%, the lowest grade that you will get converted across is going to be 15.8, which is still a really, really great result. So, even if that's all that you end up achieving as part of it, that's still going to be a great result for you for your SACE in the long run as well. And university grades don't tend to be scaled or anything too, so they remain as they are. With your results, we will automatically send out your results to your school at the end of the year, and your school will then submit those results to the SACE board. All of the topics that you're doing as part of Extension Studies have been approved by SACE so that they will all be counted towards your SACE. And just to be clear, you're not required to do 2 topics from the same study area. You could, for example, do a maths topic in semester 1 and go and do an archaeology topic in semester 2. It's still going to count as a 20 credit SACE topic. So if you're not sure what you want to do in semester 2, if you haven't got something in semester 1 and think you're not quite that passionate about it and want to change, you can change to the following semester. Just need to get the new form from you, and we can make that change. But you don't have to have both of them matching for it to be a 20 credit SACE subject. As long as you have done 2 topics successfully at the university, you'll get your 20 credits. I've got on the bottom there, Extension Studies does not count as university studies for your SATAC application. What does that mean? So with that, if you are applying for basically medicine with us, the Bachelor of Clinical Sciences, Doctor of Medicine, you cannot have any record of university studies previously to gain entry to that course. And a couple of the other universities have some different requirements around that as well. People who have participated in extension studies are not excluded from that group, basically. So if you're doing extension studies, that does not discount you from applying for medicine. You are still perfectly eligible to apply for medicine. So you don't need to list that down as university studies in your SATAC application. So that's a really, really good option. On the opposite to that, if you have studied something in extension studies and you go on to study a similar degree with us at the university, let's say you have gone and done one of the introductory business topics and you come and do a business degree with us next year, that topic that you've done as part of extension studies will count towards your business degree. So it's only going to benefit you, if that makes sense. It's not going to disadvantage you and prevent you from getting into another course. But if you go into a similar area of study, it's going to give you a really, really great benefit as well. So it's one topic that you can already tick off, which is great. And guys, please pop through any questions that you have as we're going. I haven't seen any come through just yet, but this is what we're here to do, is to answer any questions that you've got. So please make the most use of the opportunity and put them through on that little chat box too. So in terms of getting help, there are a whole range of different support services available to you as an Extension Studies student. An Extension Studies student at Flinders University is a full Flinders University student. So basically every single thing that a student has access to here, you have access to as an Extension Studies student. The hard thing though is kind of knowing where to get that help, and feel free to take screenshots of these slides in particular coming up, guys, because they are quite useful reference. I'm also going to send this out to everyone who's registered in Extension Studies as well, so you can go back and refer to these pages too. So if you're unsure about the content in your topic, if you're just not understanding some of the concepts or what you're meant to be doing with it, the right people to talk to are your teachers in that topic, and they'll have different names. They might be called tutors or topic coordinators or lecturers. Go and have a chat with them. They actually have these drop-in times at the university, so they have times and they will let you know when they are, times each week that they'll just be available in their office, hanging out, ready to answer any questions that you've got. You can also make a separate time to go and see them if you want to. Plus, you can go and ask questions during classes and at the end of classes as well. You can also meet with a relevant school teacher for support too. So your school has agreed to support you as part of your Extension Studies process, and part of that is being able to help provide you with advice even during your Extension Studies topic. So if you're doing a maths topic with us at the university and you're struggling a little bit, you've got access to all the teachers here, but you can also go and ask the maths teacher at your school as well, and they should be able to provide you with some additional support too. Now, university teachers do not draft assignments. So one of the really big things in Year 12 is drafting and that sort of thing. At university, they don't offer drafting. You are required to hand in a final assignment. However, we do have an online option for drafting, which is called Studiosity. And you can access Studiosity via your Okta dashboard. It's another one of those little button tiles on there. And basically what happens on that is you submit it and it gets sent to an expert in that study area around Australia, who will then mark it and send it back to you as a draft. So you can actually get a really good understanding of it. Studiosity is an awesome support option. So they have a whole bunch of different things that you can do. Various like how to understand study questions, how to start doing assignments, all sorts of that. So check out Studiosity. The Student Learning Centre is another one that the university provides for you. So they can provide you with help in terms of how to write assignments, how to understand assignments, how to go about, researching or referencing, or just if you're a little bit sure if you're struggling on some basic maths that you need for one of your topics, or basic English, those sorts of things, they can provide all of that support. They have a lot of online guides, and they also offer face-to-face support up at the main library in Bedford Park campus. And we also have the library and librarians. So if you are unsure how to find information for your assignments, they can assist you with that, and they can also assist you with the referencing process. Referencing at university is really, really important, and different study areas want you to use different kinds of referencing styles. So if it's a style that you're not familiar with, go and speak with the librarians, because they'll be able to help you with that, and they've got a lot of guides and they're very familiar with the whole process, so they can be really, really helpful. And you can actually use all of this for everything that you're doing in Year 12. So for example, you're doing I don't know, like a topic with us in biology, and you're also doing English but at school. If you want to come and use the library for help writing your English assignments, you can go and use the library and get all of your support services there for your English assignment at school. You have access to all of this, and this is one of the really cool things about Extension Studies. You can use all of those facilities to support you for all of your other study areas as well. A couple of other things that you also have access to, we do have a full health service. So if you need access to a GP or nurses, we do have all of that available free to our students. Just make sure you have your Medicare card. And we also provide a free and confidential counselling service too. So this it is not like has to be super related to your studies or anything like that. If you are struggling a little bit, or would just like to have someone to talk to about whatever it might be that you're going through at that time, you can go and make some time to speak with our counselling our counselling services. And again, that's a free and confidential service, which is an awesome opportunity for you as students too. So just so you've got all of your resources in one place, we've spoken about most of these as we've been going. But just as a quick summary, you've got your Okta dashboard, that's your single sign-in for all of your different student logins. Flow is part of that Okta dashboard. That's where you go if you need your topic guide information, if you want to watch your lecture recordings, if you want to ask some questions online, that sort of thing. If you're stuck as to who to go to for help, Flinders Connect is kind of your best bet. If you don't know where to go, they'll be able to either answer the question or direct you to the best place where to go. You can drop in and see them Monday to Friday, or they're available via the phone, and they also have an email address on the screen there too. The Student Learning Centre can provide you all of that help. There's a short link on there, so help for academic writing, referencing. There's lots of online guides that you can find on their website too. If you're unsure how to use Flow, or if it's not working, or you're unsure how to submit an assignment or anything, there's a Flow Student Help Desk as well. So again, you can either drop in and see them, email them, or call them as well, and they'll be able to help you out with any issues that you have. We have the textbook shop on campus, the co-op that we spoke about. Like I said earlier, wait till you go to your first lecture before you buy your textbooks, and also check out those alternative options. So those second-hand bookstores and a lot online. Someone gave me a tip as well. Sometimes you can just type the name of the textbook in and go PDF, and often find a free online option for it as well, which can be really useful. There's a Flinders University map that's available on our website too, but I do suggest if you are coming to campus for classes, download the Lost on Campus app. That's that little panda you can see on your screen there. The Lost on Campus app is an interactive map, and basically you type in the room where you need to go and it finds where you are and it links you to how long it's going to take you to walk there, and it has a photo of the door of what that room looks like from the outside. So it's really, really good. Everyone at Flinders University is very friendly as well, so if you get stuck along the way, we understand it's a pretty big place, so just ask someone and chances are we'll be able to direct you to the right area. If you need information about parking or transport to the university, there's a web link on there as well that you can access too. All right, I haven't seen any questions come through, so that's basically about it from myself. If you do have any further questions after tonight or along the way, you do have all those lists of people to contact. But if you're unsure at all, or if you've got some questions about extension studies in general, get in contact with myself or Dave. Our phone number and email address is available on the screen there, and we'll be able to assist you and hopefully point you in the right direction. If you change your mind about your classes or anything like that, just let us know and we'll let you know as to what your different options are too. Looks like everybody's all sorted, which is great. If you do get stuck along the way, like I said, just send us an email or give us a call and we'll be able to assist you with it all. And otherwise, all the best for this year, guys. Good luck and welcome to Flinders University. We really look forward to having you with us this year.